when we were coming home from school, several times people were beaten on the bus by police on the bus. I think the Windrush generation went through a lot. So we lived in tenement houses, I think, until my mum bought her house off of the Pardner, saving with Pardner. Rat infested place. I used to cry all the time because rats used to be jumping all over the bedding when I was in bed. If people are not listened to, they're going to react. If people become subjected to brutality, one day it's like a rabid dog. The dog gonna bite. My name's Pauline Campbell, and I'm 63 years old. I was working for the London Borough of Southwark for 36 years. My initial background with Southwark was in the housing department, and that's, I think, where I got the passion to sort of help people. So I became the lead in my team for domestic violence or elderly mental health. Because of my passion for people, I got interested in keeping young people safe, and that mainly started to be around young people who were fleeing violence and serious violence, gang-related violence.
Tell us a bit more about the work you did, say, with the SATA team. What was your role within that?
I was lead for the antisocial behaviour unit. We worked extremely well together with quite a few different agencies. I would say about 11 was the core, including probation, youth service. Fundamental core of it is to save lives, keep people safe, and to change lives. So giving them opportunities in employment, in education, in training. Just giving them opportunities. And the consistency, that's what it was about. It wasn't about a year's funding, it wasn't about 6 months working with an individual. It's about the continuity, walking the road with that young person and their family. And it was good work. Loved it.
One of the things we've noticed is that most of these agencies and even the facilities have disappeared.
Yes, a lot of funding, a lot of changes, a lot of funding was promised, and then they changed. People were changing their minds or wouldn't make a decision about funding, so projects had to close. It really did impact our young people and the way we were able to support them.
Tell us about your community hero.
My first community hero was Mr. Toy, because he was the founder of the SAVU team. He was the head of community safety. And he encouraged me, increase my own personal skills, and he pushed me also to do more. And because of him and yourself, who introduced me to so many people, and I was honoured to help them.
Quite a few young persons, because of what you did, I couldn't get an idea how to tackle the issues.
Yeah.
And I remember going down to Bromley at 6:30 with one of the young men that was here and working with them to get them a place, which they have until this day.
But that young man stayed with you, cooperated with you. That's because of mentorship and advocacy. That's the important. So I can say, okay, Sid, I can sort this out. I've got networking. These are what can be done. But if the client doesn't trust me, he certainly will trust you. But you knew them from they were children running about on the high street. So,
but as they said, it's not necessarily because I knew them. It's because this is the first time I've heard it described this way. I had the attributes of the woman who are soft and understanding, but this is coming from a man. Isn't that how they describe?
These young people, before I started this work, I would not understand why these young people were not listening to me. Just like a victim of domestic violence, it's no use telling someone what to do, because you will tell them what to do, but they have to do it. So what you do is support them, and one day it will click. And I think, because in some of the young people, I think I was harsh because some of them needed harsh. But I've seen loads of them since, and they all hug me, and because they call me AP. So it's just a wonderful feeling. That's all I can say. And that's why we can share so many different stories, because it is wonderful. It's not all about death, negativity. There's a lot of positive out there.
In our work, there's negativity, but we try to keep it to a minimum.
Yeah.
Because if we were to dwell on that, we would not do anything positive, because it would overwhelm us.
Yeah. With my own children, I saw it. I had bright children. Everyone thinks their children are bright. I had bright children. I had aspirations for my children. And it's about transferring that aspiration into your child. If there is not that type of guidance at home or support, then where do they get it from? They can go to school, and because of unconscious bias, children aren't expected to do well. So they're not encouraged. Or even if they do are open, they're seen as a threat. Our young people don't have the power to say, I can. They find it quite easily to say, I can't. But what about I can? So it's about empowering. Let them realizing that they have a worth as soon as possible. As soon as possible. I always tell young children, you should be showing off what you can do. Actually show off. Don't be shy. You don't want to be different because you're showing off. Show off your skills. It's about empowering our young people. And I think a lot of our young people have lost out, and then they feel hard done by. And it's not about being hard done by, because whatever you've got, you can attain more positively and move forward. So you can.
Let's just divert a little bit. Tell us about your take on the Windrush generation.
Well, my mum came over 57. My mum went to live with her sister because there were no houses. What do they call it? No dogs, no blacks. What? Seriously? So we lived in tenement houses, I think, until my mum bought her house off of the partner, saving with partner. I was 10 at that time, just about to go to secondary school, and we had moved 10 times. Campbell Grove, I lived in a rat-infested top floor. Those properties are Georgian, like 3 and 4 stories. Lived at the very top, very dark, rat-infested place. I used to cry all the time because rats used to be jumping all over the bedding when I was in bed. So I think the Windrush generation went through a lot, but we are steadfast, and I'm the second generation, and now there is 2 other generations after me.
What's your take on the way they've been treated?
I don't know anything personally, but I've seen how people have suffered mental health. People have died over the threat of being sent back. Some people have been sent back. Some people have become extremely ill because of it. It's taken a lot out of that generation, and down to the 70s, 80s. Remarkable. You've still got people that are being threatened to be sent home because they haven't got the right documentation that was destroyed. I find that amazing. I truly find that amazing. Yeah, a lot of suffering.